Another big fight that got announced, Keith. I just got to ask you about this. Ugas and Spence. Um, Great fight. A lot of people feel that it's going to be a competitive fight. What does Ugas need to do to win? What does Spence need to do to win?
Well, it's actually interesting, because they both have great jabs, right? They both got long jabs too, which is interesting because we've seen how Errol Spence can dominate with his jab when he has that long jab over somebody like Mikey Garcia, and the way he dominated Bundu, and the way he beat Lamont Peterson, right? So we've seen what he can do with that jab, but now he's going to be trying to pin somebody down who also has a long reach and a long jab and a long right hand, and also somebody who's Cuban, who's very good at spacing, and ring management. Yeah, so Errol trying to pin down Ugas might not be an easy task. And Ugas, we never really seen him sit on the ropes a lot. So Errol dominates very well when fighters end up being pinned up on the ropes. He throws some nice body shots mixed in with a nice hook up top, and then he'll give you that hook up. He can give you that hook up top and the solar plex shot, or the body shot with the hook up top. And he's got real good mix up game when he's got fighters on the ropes. Ugas, we've seen him with his Cuban style spacing. He's a slow starter. I think both fighters are slow starters, and they're both good finishers. So I really think the fight's going to get started in the 7th round. Real talk. I think the fight's going to happen from round 6, 7, 8, and 9. I think those are going to be where the fight is won. So hopefully both fighters don't do too little in the opening rounds. You got to see who really wants to take it from the opening rounds, but just seeing their styles, I think they're gonna warm up and then get the engine going
like a horse race.
And then at the end of the day, who knows? It might go all the way to that final bell, because this is the biggest fight of both fighters' careers. And when the fight really gets started, neither one's going to be able to stop till it's all said and over. So I don't expect for a quick start, but I expect for a very strong finish from both of these fighters. It's just in their making. Ugas, we saw him do a little bit more against Pacquiao. He fought Sean Porter. He didn't get the decision. He's fell short from victory on a night that he was capable of winning. We saw tremendous skill from him. We saw him backing Sean up, and Sean not being capable of doing a lot in the fight. But because he was the champion, he threw flurries from time to time. Ugas let him off the ropes countless number of times. Ugas just didn't get the victory in the judges' eyes. Fans have an opinion, but we got to impress these judges, right? So he's been scorned. He's been scorned in that fashion. And I think he knows that if you want to be champion of the world, you got to let these hands go, and you got to do something for the fans, for the judges, and for everybody in the world to say you are the champion. So if he really wants to put it down for Cuba, I don't know the statistics. I've been questioning them. You should do your research. It's going to be something to talk about. Has there ever been an undisputed Cuban champion in the history of boxing?
No, there hasn't.
There hasn't. No. This is a monumental moment right here, right now. That's what boxing is all about. That's what I love about boxing, is boxing history and finding newfound barriers. I always talk about how Manny Pacquiao, what he brought to the sport. He brought a whole country, the Philippines, and now they love boxing. They can't get enough of boxing, so it's just tremendous what a singular athlete can do for his nation, put him on the map. Yordenis Ugas is going to be having the Cubano flag flying over him very high, very prideful, leading up into this match. And he should. And he should carry the pride of his ancestors and walk into that ring and show his warrior spirit to the best of his potential, and then Errol Spence just wants to dominate in the same fashion that he has. He hasn't has a blemish on his record yet. He wants to dominate once again, hold it down, talk his man down, blah, blah, blah. And do his thing. And we all believe in him. We all believe that he's very capable of doing it. But we've seen Ugas has been a challenging opponent for many, many, many fighters. He hasn't fought a fighter of this caliber. So let's just see what can happen on this up and coming bout. It's going to be a great night of boxing, baby.
Yeah, it's going to be a good fight. What's the most likely thing that happens, in your opinion, in that fight? Do you think it goes like split decision? Do you think Errol might be a little too big, too active? Do you think maybe he gets surprised by Ugas's counterpunching?
I think they're going to be very conservative. I think they're going to be staring at each other, sizing each other up. And then I think out of nowhere, bombs are coming. I think, because it's hard, man, to stand in that ring and have all that testosterone, champion versus champion. Like, man, you got to make a statement, man. I mean, maybe they can stay composed. Maybe Ugas just box smart. Maybe Errol just tries to box smart. But I know Errol, he even the way he was swinging at Danny Garcia, he was trying to take Danny's head off. But Danny, after I caught Danny in the first round, he wouldn't let me hit him with the big swingers anymore because his eyes were wide open. And he's a counterpuncher, which means he knows how to get out the way and try to throw back at you. But he was just too slow for me. He was too slow for Errol. But the way they fought each other, they were really throwing a lot of big punches at one another. That's one reason why a lot of punches didn't land in that fight. So I think Errol should just tighten up, take away from the power, and just focus on landing some punches. And then once you get into the rhythm of landing punches, go ahead and increase the power once again and drop it on them. Like I said, I think Errol's a very capable fighter. I favor him in the fight, but we talk about Ugas, he's taken on so many challengers in the welterweight division. He's made upsets in the past when they thought he was the underdog. And that's just the kind of fighter that Ugas is. He's a very capable, well-rounded Cuban boxer who knows the sport of boxing, who has good defense, good spacing, a long jab. He's just fundamentally sound at 147. He's just got a great frame to compete with all the fighters in the welterweight division. So, I think if Spence can hurt Ugas, then he can make a difference in the fight. But if he just lets Ugas continue to use his defense and his spacing, we might have a lot of toss-up rounds. That's the one thing that I'm a little skeptical of right now is I want to see, like my fight, I want to see dominant rounds. I want to see somebody dominate. I think this has the potential to have a lot of give or take kind of rounds. So it's up to the fighters to show who wants to stand out, who can block, who can sneak in the power shots, the better combinations, and then get in and get out. They're gonna have to prove themselves on that night. I know everybody should be getting excited right now, and the boys should be very focused in their camps to come. So let's just see what happens.
Thank you so much for watching this video, and make sure to subscribe for more videos of your favorite fighters over here on Fight Hub TV, and give us a follow online as well at Fight Hub TV on Twitter and on Instagram. We appreciate it, guys.